Are you in charge?
No. We know as much as you do.
The call-up will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Looks like it's showtime. Lock and load, people.
Welcome to my channel, and today we're going to see gaming movie that to be recapping the movie, the call-up 8 highly skilled gamers including Socks. 1. Carl Mustang 67, Shelley Dodge High, 3. F. Edward Star 8, Shoot 3 R Andre XX Atla Fox Marco. T3 Rarest 1. Zahood Reap 3 or 2000. Adam and Slay Third Girl Taylor are invited to beta test a cutting-edge virtual reality game with a grand prize of $100,000. The group eagerly accepts the invitation and arrives at a high-tech office building where they change into motion capture suits. Their excitement turns to apprehension when they are scanned by a mysterious machine and instructed to put on virtual reality gear. Zahid, who had chosen an ironic username that he now regrets due to its association with terrorism, initially refuses to wear the gear that labels him as a terrorist. However, he soon realizes that the exit is locked, and under Shelley's persuasion reluctantly agrees to participate with the assurance that the others understand his username. Once everyone dons their VR helmets, the office building transforms into a post-apocalyptic, war-torn setting. A simulated sergeant appears and explains their mission. Russian terrorists have taken control of each floor of the building, and they must clear a path to the bottom, starting from the 25th floor. Although relieved that the terrorists are not portrayed as Muslims, Zahid remains uneasy while the others are excited to embark on the virtual adventure. The initial level, essentially a tutorial, is completed without much difficulty, and Andre, a former soldier, takes the lead. However, the group's elation turns to concern when Carl suffers a genuine injury due to the VR suit's feedback causing him actual pain. Taylor, who had taken her friend's place in the game, becomes increasingly panicked. Shelley promises to protect her as suspicions mount about Andre's military background and his potential involvement in designing the game. Marco accuses him of being the insider responsible for their predicament. Hurt by the accusation, Andre decides to leave the group and is subsequently shot by a terrorist who has respawned the group, discovers that their VR helmets have been programmed to deliver a lethal shock upon their character's death in an attempt to remove Zahid's helmet. They are interrupted by the reappearance of the simulated sergeant, who beats Zahid and warns against further tampering with no other choice. The players proceed to descend to the next level, when Zahid and Carl attempt to break a window to escape. The sergeant reappears, breaking Zahid's leg and issuing a death threat for any further infractions. Zahid realizes that the others cannot carry him to the end of the game and decides to stay behind. As the remaining players clear several more levels, Taylor becomes separated from the group and finds herself forced to kill a terrorist on her own. Gradually gaining confidence on the 9th floor, the sergeant presents a captive terrorist and instructs the players to torture him for information. Edward volunteers, and after subjecting the captive to multiple electric shocks, he extracts a password Adam and puts the password into a computer console, unknowingly arming a bomb in the basement with a 30-minute countdown. Marco becomes aggressive toward Adam, blaming him for worsening their situation. Marco and Adam continue descending while Shelley, Carl, Edward, and Taylor clear an upper-level. Marco uses Adam as bait for the terrorists, sacrificing him to the danger when the others reach Adam's location. Marco kills Taylor to take a medical kit from her in her final moments. Taylor writes Atlas in her own blood. Carl confronts Marco, damaging his helmet in a fight leading to the sergeant's entrance and Marco's death. Carl, Shelley, and Edward reach the basement floor and engage in a firefight with 4 terrorists. However, they are ultimately outgunned, and both Carl and Shelley are fatally wounded. Carl sacrifices himself to save Shelley by using their last medical kit on her, holding her hand as his helmet delivers the lethal shock. In a desperate move, Edward manages to eliminate the machine gun or terrorist, with a rocket launcher narrowly stopping the bomb's countdown. As the game concludes, Shelley becomes suspicious of Edward when she realizes he knows the simulated sergeant's victory speech by heart, indicating he may be the insider orchestrating the game. The graphics dissipate, and security guards enter the room. They tranquilize Shelley, and she loses consciousness. Shelley wakes up prematurely to witness the others being placed in body bags. Edward reveals that she has won the game and offers her a large bag of money. When Shelley threatens to expose Edward's involvement in the murders, he dismisses her concerns, confident that no one will believe her. Instead of taking the money, Shelley injects the guard with a tranquilizer, seizes his pistol, and engages in a deadly firefight with the remaining guards before confronting Edward. She chooses justice over wealth and at point-blank range shoots him before leaving the virtual nightmare behind.